All right, everyone. So this video is going to be a little different. This is going to be just me discussing some of the things in my sketchbook here. Now, first of all, this is has a wonderful grip on it, and it's a Bristol sketchbook. So when you open it up, the paper is very, very thick. Bristol basically really good for soaking up ink and really terrible at soaking, like keeping pencil or retaining pencil or other kinds of things besides ink, but really great for ink, especially to the Sharpies that I use. Now, I use regular Sharpies that are just basically fine point, and I also use liners. Now, these liners, basically, they're like, I'll show you the tips here. The liners are kind of like a short version of a Sharpie. It's meant for outlining and things like that. And I have multiple colors in here, as you can see. And then the regular Sharpies have a little bit longer of a tip, or a little bit wider of a tip, I should say. So liner, tip, Sharpie tip. It's a little bit of a difference. It's kind of hard to tell on some of them, but I think that the Sharpie tip's a little bit wider and a little bit longer. That's what I'm going to go ahead and say. Now, let me scoot all this over. So this first drawing in this one sketchbook is an expansion of the lotus. Now, all of my drawings have some spiritual significance. This one has a good symmetry on it. Now, the symmetry is meant to denote kind of like a cosmic order in a way. And of course, the flowers of the cosmic order, the blooming of that which is cosmic, the life, the nature, everything coming to be. And in the center, we have this yellow, I know it's the same center in all these lotuses. We have this yellow kind of expansion. It's yellow is a color of inspiration. And inspiration is at the heart of the universe, so to make it symmetrical, I put it in these four lotuses, and of course these two, which are less symmetrical. And then these little these horn things here, these pointed triangles, they are meant to basically denote expansion. From original inspiration to expansion to creation. And let's go ahead and go to the next one. All these are very graphic designy, if that makes any sense. So this one, that is Hagauss. So Hagauss is rune of disruption, storm, change, things like that. So that's where we get our capital N, except it's where it starts and begins is a little bit different than just like the top of this line and the bottom of this one. But the lightning bolts here are, of course, storm. And then you have the blue and the red, which means, the dual nature of a storm. And then you have the expansion of the mist, the fumes that are created from the storm. Maybe fumes is the wrong word. Maybe mist is a better word for that. And of course we have droplets. And then we have an eye right here. This eye is the eye that's always observing within all manifestation. This is kind of like Kinaz looking down, like opening up. The sky is opening up. Kinaz is the rune that looks like that little arrow thing there. And this is just kind of like a crown for the whole thing, where it's like the whole thing is meant to drive everything upward. Once everything is rained down, consumed, and then things manifest upward into higher dimensions. I know that these basic symbols really seem like they wouldn't be this complicated, but this is my thought process. The drawing is not as great as the thought process, but I think that I definitely always have something behind my thought process. So this one, skull, fully fleshed human, welcome. So basically, I didn't quite finish this one, but because I didn't know if I wanted to finish the inner part. But basically, it's a question within my mind. What are my thoughts on my love for the door between death and life? Is it a welcome? And what looks from beyond that door, from behind that door between death and life? That's kind of my thinking on that. I don't like how I did the heart here. It's way too round. It's kind of gross. But that was the thinking behind that. And, the death thing has a horn because, it's more, I guess you can say it's more primal. And then, of course, the hair they both have hair. There's both an extension of that. So let me go ahead and try try not to skip ahead here. All right, so this one, yin and yang. Sometimes color says a lot. So in this one, gray, black, and brown, these are like very base, and I didn't even actually finish this one either. I just kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move on to something else. But the gray, black, and brown, that denotes like basic matter. And then you have the energy, the vibrancy below that. And then you have this void between everything and then the source right in the middle, which is ultimately the position that balance comes from. That's why I have that yin yang there. These are what kind of hands you get, guys, when you work with your hands all the time. I have calluses and just scraped up hands. All right, so this one is the Crimson Blade. This was kind of an occult design. I played with the idea of forming a blood magic cult dedicated to the blood realm and feeding it, but also experiencing and being fed by it. That is still in the works. As far as everybody who's a part of this cult, the cult of the Crimson Blade has to be blood magicians and has to be kind of dedicated to contacting and being one with this realm. This is just a very basic design. This wouldn't be like the tattoo or the final design, but I will say that for some reason, I felt that this T with a crook on the bottom was like the proper sigil. And, you know, I could have put more, you know, a little bit more detail on that as well. But then, of course, you have the blade, which is obvious, and then the blood upon it. But this feels like a really good design to play with, an idea to play with in the future. Let's see if I'm skipping anything. Okay, this ohm I have not completed whatsoever, so let's go past that. And oh hey, we're back to this disruption rune. Apparently, I felt the need to make it very colorful and more like expressionary, more vibrant, and basically the same symbolism, except, you know, you have the arrows of like constantly going and going. Basically the same symbolism, plus you have some fire on the outside, but this is just kind of like an improved version of a previous one. This is the one that I'm on right now. This is Ansul's. So I wanted to get the feel and the vibration, the energy of Ansul's. That's why you have a whole bunch of like just little tiny jagged triangles, chaotic, like it's alive. It's coming out at you. It interacts with your vision. And then of course we have part of the map here, fire, energy, and then we have, I'm thinking about doing blues on this, like just a constant cycles, very stable. Of course, I have some energy up here as well, and then some, I'm not done with it yet, but then we have a reminder of cycles. And yeah, this is a very vibrant Ansul's, which is the rune of calling upon the gods. I actually am really loving doing this piece right now, but honestly, in this one sketchbook, I have other ones. This is all I have in this, and once again, I'm using these Sharpies that are fine point, and these liner pens as well that are kind of like mixed in everywhere, but yeah, if you want to see what these are called, I guess it might say on the side if we're lucky. There. Yeah, mini fine. Anyway, this has been a video that talks a little bit about the art that I do, kind of what I do in my free time some of the time when I'm just trying to like listen to, you know, history or some kind of like Star Wars lore video, or just kind of like unwinding after work or after a video. Anyway, I hope this was interesting. I hope you like this. If you did like it, feel free to shoot that thumbs up down there. It really helps out. And feel free to request other videos like this if this is something that's more your speed on my channel. I haven't done one like this before, at least not in a while. So I hope y'all like it. And at any rate, thank you very much for watching, and all of you have a wonderful day.